There's a tree coming out of my head. Look. It's so funny.
Hey, Swamiji.
Hello, Derek.
How's it going?
Doing very well, very well. Looks like the admit buttons stopped ringing for now.
How's it going, April?
Well, doing well. Good to see everybody. All around the world. Welcome. I need to. Excellent. Yeah, just so super happy to see everyone gathering us. Let's see. All right. Well, yeah. Let's bring it together. These virtual formats. I think it's a lot harder to to start playing music as we used to do in in-person gatherings, and especially too because I found that when we first started to do that, I post these on YouTube as a way to document and share them. And YouTube's really good at picking up on copyrighted content in the background and then just, blocking out the whole thing. So that learned my lesson there as well. But yeah, so yes, happy. Why don't we take a moment though to just go around and say a little bit about how our day is, how our week's been, how the last month has been, as well as what we're looking forward to, and anything else that you might have to share. So in no particular order, anyone who kind of put your hand up, speak up. Let's hear from everybody.
Who wants to go first?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm joining you from beautiful New Hampshire. Nice to see you all today. I woke up this morning and set my intention to just have an amazing day. So I'm looking for all the amazing things that are happening, and it's already been a great morning. So it's good to be here with you all.
Sam, I see your hand up.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm back here. I think I missed the last two such gatherings, if I remember correctly, because I've been rather busy. But today it happens. This particular 10th day of the month happens to fall on a Sunday, so I figured I'd have no excuse not to virtually attend. So I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward. It's actually very beautiful here. You guys are in Florida as well, but it's very beautiful here in Orlando. It's like the weather is like picture perfect. So I'm looking forward to having a productive day. I've got a bit of cleaning to do, and I'm looking forward to a good week at work. So that's it.
Thank you, Sam. Anyone else want to let us in?
Hello, I'm Mike Perry in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a beautiful day here too, and I'm glad to take part. I work at Alcor Foundation, and actually I'm in my office right now. And I got a busy day ahead of me, actually, even if it is Sunday. But I wanted to go to the last monthly meeting, and I was just so zonked with things that I didn't even think of tuning in until it was too late. But here I am today.
Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, and
Matty.
Oh, whoa, yeah, the camera switched. All right. Yeah, Maddie, let's hear from.
Oh yeah. Last weekend I was in Texas for a retreat for the Stasis Foundation, where we made plans and to see what to do with the facility. I don't. It's the organization that wants to build Timeship, or that has been working on this for like over 10 years. Yeah, and it was a productive weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I certainly have heard of that. I've never been out to see what they've done with that, but that's exciting. I'm glad to hear about that. Who's up next?
Hey, Tyler and Sky in Bristol. Super excited for spring and gardening. So that's at least for me. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, just want to say hi.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, probably I can be next. So basically, joining from Berlin, it's weather was not so good today. It was actually snowing for a couple of hours, but now it's sunny. The weather in the winter was very cloudy, and like looking forward for spring to come, basically, and for Terasem to expand throughout the universe.
Yes. Love that. All right. Welcome, Bina. So yeah, we're just kind of doing a round robin, just everyone giving some introductions and, setting their intentions.
You're mute, Bina. Take on the audio, the microphone.
You're muted, Bina. You want to go, John? What?
Oh, sure. I'll go while we're, so my last week has been good. We have been preparing for Gabriel's kids to come. And so they arrived last night. So I'm looking forward to spending time with the kids and having some fun adventures, and just piggybacking off of what Freddie said. Today is a good day to have a good day. So I hope we all have a great day.
Excellent. Yeah. Welcome, Bina.
Thank you. Sorry, I was on mute. Listen, I'm having a wonderful week here in Canada. I just saw the biggest turkey I've ever seen. It was a male turkey with all the full feathers and everything. It was just fantastic. Yesterday I had 5 deer in the yard, and I don't know how many different types of birds. It was really just it's just been beautiful here, and just enjoying the start of spring.
Lovely. Yeah, that's great.
If I may.
Yes.
So I read Parable of the Sower.
Nice.
Like we talked about when we talked like last week. I talked with Somi G. It was a lot of fun. I really recommend these kind of conversations. And it just reminded me, it was a really great book, but it just reminded me the importance of persistence, and how in the kind of pledge, the Terasem pledge, it just says that we want to be persistently going forward. And just sometimes when the world seems chaotic, just like in the book, Parable of the Sower, we can still do like great things in a small group if we just maintain our persistence. So yeah, I want to share that.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's great.
Gabriel, I have a question.
Yes, Sam.
That book, Parable of the Sower, is I think I've heard of it. I'm actually looking it up here as we speak. Would you, because I'm not, all I'm finding here is the particular quote in the Bible. Would you mind giving us a synopsis, if you will?
Right. So Octavia Butler is this African-American sci-fi novelist.
Okay.
And she wrote a number of great novels, but one series particular known as the Parable novels. There's Parable the Sower, Parable the Talents, and she died before finishing what is believed to be a third book in that trilogy.
Okay.
Parable the Sower, however, has become, somewhat prophetic, in terms of predicting chains of events, some would say. And
Okay.
in that book, the heroine in that story creates this religion to deal with the chaos of the world falling apart, around
Okay.
them. And so Terasem is actually Latin for earth seed, which is the religion in that book. And so a lot of our intentions are somewhat inspired from that. And certainly,
cool.
She's not the first person to imagine some of these, things. So, there are other inspirations that you can track even through her work. But yeah, so it's something that I had actually taken 10 years myself to read, from becoming aware of it in the context of this conversation and actually, reading the book myself. And I find that really the book, found me in the right time, that, maybe 10 years earlier wouldn't have been the right time for me to understand and to read that. But it is an incredible book. It is something that, as you study Terasem and its background, is a good thing to have a context of. So, and then also, again, Derek, thank you for mentioning, I do keep, office hours that are open to everybody. I can get you the Calendly link if you don't have it, but I encourage you to, schedule some time. And, we can have some one-on-one conversations about, what Terasem is and what it means to you, or just, the weather and politics, whatever it may be, grief counseling, but all and above. So certainly, my time is available to everybody for whatever, reason, and would love to spend some of it with you. So please make use of the Calendly, or just simply request, hey, let's find a time to talk. Thank you.
Cool.
Ruben and Julio and Amy, we're just going through doing, round robins. So I don't think we've heard from the three of you yet.
Hello, good morning. Here we are with high temperatures. You can see they are the air conditioned. So it's quite different from Berlin, for example. And it's all okay. I will share with you something I have shared already in Discord. That is my corner in the garden.
Ah, sunflowers.
Corner in my garden that is with flowers. Okay. And of course, as all this time, concerned about what is happening in Ukraine, and every time concerned about that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And again, another resource for everybody, the Discord for Terasem. Love to see the shares, and the conversations going on in there. And anyone else want to jump in? I see you, Amy, but you're muted.
How's that? Is that okay? Okay. I just wanted to apologize for not making it to the Seder last week. I wasn't sure if it was a an invitation up to the house or not. I was confused, and then something came up that was very urgent at the last minute. And I wasn't able to make it. You had a good time without me.
Yeah, well, sorry we missed you. But yeah, it was a lovely Seder. It was.
Did you come up from Florida for it?
No, we did. We actually ended up doing virtual.
Oh, okay.
One after the gathering, but yeah, so yeah, it was very nice. Recorded. Looking forward to, it's been a long time since you had a big around the table gathering, like that. So that would be nice. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm feeling very closed in from all the, the COVID thing is just really that, plus the winters up here. That's not easy.
True.
Kind of goes on and on.
Hopefully it'll be ending soon. We're ready. We want to see flowers like Ruben has. He's got those sunflowers already, and we haven't seen anything up here yet.
I just saw crocuses right down the street from me, right
Great.
across from Terasem Church.
Yes.
There's some crocuses that just came out. Amazing.
Good.
A little double take there.
All right. Well, I think that just about all shared. I had one thing before we started, talking about sharing and these things. I just found this lying around. This is a gigantic pine cone, which you will see in some of the the pine forest here in Florida. Pines grow very well in this weather, and so we found this gigantic pine cone here. And I just, I love the natural geometry of things as well as just the peculiar, size of it. But one of the souvenirs from, many adventures of trekking around these adventures with the kids. So that's great. I just lovely to have everybody. Julia, we didn't hear from you. If you have something to share. Doesn't want to speak. All right, good. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So let's see. It is already April. So we are in the second half of What is Terasem? Starting, there we go. Should be page 20, 2.6. And yeah, I will start with 2.6 and 2.6.1, and as always, whoever feels inspired can follow. Theologically, the multiverse includes joyful immortality via data emulation of a diverse and united universe. 2.6.1. Unending life, the belief that once life arises, it will last forever, is Terasem immortality theology. I think Derek and I were talking about this in the cyclical nature of things in our last conversation. 2.6.2, never-ending creation, recycling, and growth is the Terasem creation theology. I think, therefore I am, is at the core of Terasem reality theology. Teleological belief in diversity, unity, and joyful immortality forms Terasem meaning of life theology. Euthenics, improving the well-being of extant life, is Terasem behavioral theology. Deontologically weighted decision-making is the basis of Terasem moral theology. And yeah, Ruben?
Okay. Transreligion is us because we ritualize our belief in a supernatural, metaphysical, collective consciousness future God. Beginnings differ amongst religions, but we bridge them all by focusing on everlasting life. Everlasting life, realized via digital emulation in a joyous cyber heaven, bridges all Western and Eastern religions. Life is what can be conceived, believed, and achieved. Insistence on the rituals of Terasem exponentiates the rate of advancement toward joyful immortality. Every religion shares our belief in becoming part and parcel of God, which we call Terasem. Faith that we have a purpose in emulating and controlling this universe also makes Terasem a trans religion.
That was great. Thank you, Ruben. Ivan?
I can be next. 2.8, resurrection is promised to all good lives, which shall be copied as forever joyful data emulations. 2.8.1, copied lives are protected lives. 2.8.2, original lives can be replicated with the same fidelity as analog sounds can be digitally duplicated. 2.8.3, paradise for posterity is assured by modifying data emulations to delete tortuous aspects of lives. 2.8.4, introspection plus computation, growing double exponentially and supported with self-replication, yields ethical emulation and faithful resurrection. 2.8.5, emulated lives are existential lives. 2.8.6, duplication of a life makes it durable, not diminished.
Yeah, that's great. Scanning for a volunteer on 2.9.
I'm trying to ignore that nudge. I don't know how to pronounce the first word.
We're all making it up as we go along.
We are?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, what is it? So I say it right.
Why don't you? Well, we'll see what comes out.
Eschatology, I think.
Say it. What is it?
Eschatology.
Eschatology, I
Doesn't
think.
apply because souls emerge from life's experiences as they transcend death via resurrection. 2.9.1, emerge best describes the growth of the soul because even in substrate, it has eminent potential. 2.9.2, manifesting potential with unique actuality requires experiences, and these experiences exist forever thereafter. 2.9.3, emulation enables experiences to reemerge, and with them comes their soul. 2.9.4, resurrection is to souls what remembering is to memories. 2.9.5, geoethics prescribes the resurrection of nightmares. 2.9.6, exponentially expanding consciousness will not require resurrection as death is historical but not future reality.
Yeah. Oh, now
Who's
I'm
next?
getting the nudge. Yeah.
No, is there another one?
All right. You guys want to finish in Bristol? Mr. Perry, you want to go?
I can do it.
Yes.
Might
Yes,
as
we'd
well
love
do
to.
something like this. 2.10, end of time doesn't exist for Terasem because the multiverse weaves new time and time is relative. 2.10.1, what has no beginning also has no end. 2.10.2, existing always, the multiverse is the host of all reality for ultimate beginnings or logical contradictions. 2.10.3, accumulated intelligence of double exponential growth coupled with universal nanotechnology enables Terasem to redefine physics. 2.10.4, virtual time sharing enables Terasem to escape from an end to objective time. 2.10.5, escapes from this universe are as numerous as the galaxies and as limited as our intelligence. 2.10.6, subjective time, space, energy is made infinite by repeatedly existing on only half of a finite remainder. Where is Terasem? Terasem is everywhere and everywhen consciousness organizes itself to create diversity, unity, and joyful immortality.
Thank you. Thank you. You actually, I think you went like one step farther to read the next question, but
Couldn't tell if that was,
yeah.
whether that was part of the next section or something on the previous. I'm sorry.
No, don't be. It's great. Yeah. It's it's like, you know, ending with the spoiler for next season.
I had only seconds to make up a mind.
Yeah, I see. I think we got a hand in Vermont. Yeah.
Yeah, a quick question. The geoethics proscribes the resurrection of nightmares. I was curious, that one confuses me.
Yeah. Yeah, they're, you know, honestly, they're that is something too that every time I read it, you know, I look at with you know, some wonder myself. And you know, another thing that is also, you know, true, you know, about Terasem is, you know, that neither the building that you're in, that I'm in, nor the body that I'm in, nor that, you know, any of us are in, is itself, you know, solely and wholly representative, you know, and can necessarily speak for Terasem. We're all, you know, pursuing our ways. So that's a long-winded way of saying that I don't have a good answer for you.
Thank you for that's fair.
Yeah. So, but here's what I do see in it, because honestly, the thing that, you know, I think the word that I think most of us are unfamiliar with and are most unsure of is what is really meant by proscription, right? We hear prescription very often, but proscription, what are we really meaning by proscription? You know,
I think of pro as like pro, like for it. And that's where I'm confused, the resurrection of nightmares, because I always thought of geoethics as like a good thing, or this makes it seem like a bad thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Ruben has a hand up.
Yeah.
Yes. I think about that interesting question, that we first should define what we mean for nightmare in this context. What I understand of this 2.9.6, 2.9.5 is that maybe it is related with the fact of not including in our mind files things that are excessively traumatic of our experience, our past experiences, things that are not so important for maintaining the personality, the individuality of the mind file, but that only will produce pain in the future. So you don't include it. And it also with another view, it is related, I think, with that concept at the only good consciousness will be restored in the post-singularity, and not the evil and bad ones. I suppose that when we talk about nightmares, perhaps it refers to the whole consciousness of some evil consciousness, or in the individual mindful of every one of us to take away some extremely traumatic memories. If we define what nightmares refer in this concept, in this context, I think perhaps we can understand better this point.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of good wisdom in that explanation there. I certainly, I felt that one aspect of this is we we can't fully remove the pain, cringe, fear, those are all aspects of of ourself, and are necessary aspects. So the absolute removal of any unpleasantness is truly only, I think, in ignorance, not in understanding. But yeah, that is, I think, one very, very curious point, which I don't think it gets brought up very very commonly. So I'm glad to to meditate as a group on that point particularly.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, Ruben, certainly on that. And so I neglected to mention something earlier that also that's just touched on here is one, I wanted to congratulate and honor Ruben. He has just completed the translations of Fred and Linda's Truths of Terasem podcast. And 80 episodes translated into Spanish, which also are going to be, with his permission, accepted into the American Philosophical Society archives, because it's a document that they're also very interested in. So they will preserve that for in their own records.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very much. And well, I sent you a mail minutes ago because to point that we have already 80 translations, but I am working on other 21 because all the translations are 101. So in the next days, we will have the 101 completed. We have 80
yes.
up to date. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah. An incredible project. And so, what Ruben has taken on to do that. And, we all know this from studying something, by taking it through, by reading it and then writing it. And like you put that process of putting the information through you. It's one of the best ways to really, develop that. And so Ruben, I know, has been doing that. Derek, as we spoke, has been, doing, his version. And I just say, like, it's so good to see people taking this up, taking projects of their own, and finding ways to to work with it. And it adds so much more to the conversation, so much more perspective, and it's great to see it. It's great to be able to get more in depth in the conversations, through that process. So just really want to honor everybody in every way that they're doing it, to advance Terasem, and particularly that the depth of that translation and that work and that preservation is just extraordinary. Any other truths that anyone wants to bring up?
If I could just show you what you just mentioned. So this is a journal that my wife gave me for my birthday, my first birthday of us being together. And so every morning I copy the Truths of Terasem for like 30 minutes or an hour. So it looks something like this. And I just by hand kind of copy it as a meditation. So yeah.
Yeah. So I had a similar practice when I first came to start studying Terasem about 10 years ago now. I did a very similar thing to try to really get into it. And yeah, honestly, it's lovely. I mean, there's this, I find one thing, I think that this section resonated. I was thinking this earlier, is just how Terasem, I feel it uses faith to touch a different part of the brain than I feel that normally it does. That very much of faith-based literature seems to touch your nervous system in other places. And so I feel like Terasem uses faith to stimulate curiosity and science and knowledge more than just the the pleasure centers. And so this is why I think Marx said that religion is the opium of the masses, because religion so commonly focuses on dulling or numbing certain parts of us to elicit these feelings of belonging or impermanence or transcendence. And I just find through studying Terasem, I feel that I use that spiritual power to advance myself in a different way, to be more curious and understanding about the world in a physical, in a real way, rather than in a fantastical way. So it's that for me, that's what it does. And so I love to see others take that path and see if that is something that is how it relates to them as well.
Great. Well, Gabe, I was just going to tell Jennifer that word she was having trouble with, eschatology. That is the meaning of that word. It's the part of theology concerned with death, judgment, and the final destiny of the soul of mankind. So that was just interesting that Martine chose to put that word there, just to confuse you.
Good word.
Yeah, and what's actually it's there is a glossary of terms, but that's not in it.
That's not in it. That's why I had to look it up. I said, wait a minute, why isn't it in there? But it really makes sense. It makes sense there, but it's just not. It didn't happen to make it to the glossary.
Yeah, I actually, I remember, having to look that up the first time that I did, and just being like, wow, like that's a whole thing, and yeah, I think honestly, I've become very interested in this section called etymology, which is the history of where words come from. What do they mean? Where do they come from? And I would certainly say that, if it was not, just going back to what I said, if it was not for the Truths of Terasem, like, I don't think I would have become as interested in like words and in the origins of words, if it was not, for that, for exactly that type of study.
I just want to kind of take a little poll with people and see how other people feel about this kind of aspect of Terasem. In 2.8.3, paradise for posterity is assured by modifying data emulations to delete torturous aspects of lives. And I'm just wondering, like, how many of you would want to delete things that you don't view as positive in your life? Like, do you feel like they've helped shape who you are now? Or do you feel like you would just rather in, you know, in our next life, our next conscious life going forward, would you rather just leave all that behind? Just a kind of a show of hands. Who would delete past torturous events?
I would.
I would. Sure. Why
I
not?
wouldn't.
Delete,
There's bad
delete.
stuff out there.
I wouldn't delete memories of even bad events, which doesn't mean I want to have more bad events either. But I think those things are worth saving, because after all, I'm trying to overcome the bad things. And you could delete every memory of everything negative, and you would think you were a perfect being for your whole existence, but it wouldn't be the same person anymore, I don't think. You know, for me,
I agree.
if I just thought I was an angel every minute of my life since the day I was first aware of anything, well, that would be a different kind of being than I really am. And rather than that, I hope to become angelic, but to overcome the shortcomings, rather than just wiping out all the memories of that as if it never happened at all.
Yeah. So Sam,
I have a question. So one of the things I've actually heard before, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, is that sometimes over time, people can get to a place where they interpret traumatic events and see them in a different light than they would have when they were actually going through those experiences, where it's almost like it's more of a learning, almost some kind of like a way of entertaining yourself, if you will, just kind of keep perspective on things. That could be helpful, I guess, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
I think you're right, Sam. I think, you know, years ago, I used to help women with rape defense. And they definitely, if they had not gone through the trauma, would they be able to work as strong to overcome that? And you can change those memories somewhat if they aren't too deep ingrained, and become a new person, become a stronger person than you were when those things happened to you. So it's true, some bad memories can help you in the future, but if you get too many of those, especially as in early childhood, I think it's really, really difficult to ever overcome some of that.
Okay, fair enough.
But actually, those bad things happened and shaped your personality, but now there is no reason to keep them anymore. You already who you are, and
that's a good way to look at it.
You
I
walk
like
this
that.
path, so
I like that.
As for me,
Well,
no reason to keep them.
For me, I feel differently. I mean, it is possible to lessen the impact of the memories and indeed see them in a different light, but that's not the same thing as just obliterating the information. And I don't feel like I want to obliterate the information, but a memory that really cut like a knife in me before doesn't have to keep doing that.
Right.
And also, you might say, well, those will never be overcome. But we're talking about the infinite future too. So I have a lot of hopes in the infinite future. I can overcome obstacles that seem pretty formidable today.
That's right.
I think Amy looked like she was about to talk, and Ruben, you had your hand up.
I guess I didn't realize what the question was, and so now I'm straightened out on it. And I just think that there's certain times in your life that that don't, they might give you a different perspective, but you're just better off forgetting about them, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so yeah. So Ruben, you have your hand up.
Yes. First, it's great what Derek has shown about his book that he's writing every day. That is marvelous. And I think, Derek, that perhaps you may add that in some way to your mind file. For example, in LiveNote, it's a lot of work to type everything again, because it's a great book, but perhaps you can take photos with your phone and add it to your mind file, because it's a daily work you are doing, and constructing mind files in that way is what will ensure what Bina had explained about eschatology. Eschatology doesn't apply, and eschatology will not apply if we do good mind files in the future. So, and about the Freddie question about who will determine what is in and what is out in the mind file. I think that in the first step, everyone individually will decide what will not include in the mind file. But at that point, I share with Dr. Perry that we cannot exclude all conflicted things, all difficult things, because that will affect the individuality. It will modify the individuality of the consciousness. So the truth of Terasem in many points says that we have to take that things out. And so perhaps we can put an item for discuss in the next quadrennial convocation in 2024. I think it would be in Florida, to discuss this point, because if we start now to think about this, perhaps we can have a little modification in these points of the truth about what is in and what is out. I think, Freddy, that in first instance, everyone will decide it. But in the last instance, and I talk about that in a book I am writing just now. For example, in the ancient Egypt, their religion was that some gods like Maat and another one, I don't remember now, decided in a final judgment what souls will be accepted or not after that. And I ask in my book, and who will be the Maat of the post-singularity deciding that? For what I have read about what had written about that, the most important minds of transhumanists lately, there is a consensus that they think that will be done by an artificial intelligence. But we are far from that today, and an artificial intelligence is something that is programmed by man. So it's a great thing, I think. And about that interesting question of Freddy, I think that we have to start by deciding individually each one what will include in the mind file, and in the future, in the far future, I think that we need some mechanism to avoid the crossing that singularity of everything, so that can be dangerous for all society.
Thank you, Ruben. We're looking forward to hearing more about your book, but we're running low on time. So before we get into meditation, I want to close with a couple thoughts, on that, kind of that final or the general conversation. One is to remember that these are truths, not commandments. And so I think that perspective, I think you got to reread that and then like from that perspective, right? So the truths are actually not saying, whether you should or should not. It's not really saying what you should include, what you should not. That's up to you. That's your choices or your experiences. What in fact the truth is saying is that paradise for posterity. Right. So if you want to look back and you want Elysium fields, then what it's saying that, modifying data emulations to delete torturous aspects, will present, your mind file with an Elysium field. That I think is actually more directly what the truth is saying, which isn't, unreasonable. But I think actually to some degree, if you consider it more to the level of a commandment, then we question, whether or not we should include or should not include, these aspects. So that's just a, kind of a perspective that I was thinking as we were having that conversation. Another way just to kind of reflect on what is Terasem. But with that, we're down to just the last little bit, and I want to, unless someone has any other truth that is burning to them that they want to, for us to speak and to reflect on. But otherwise, I'm going to hand it over to Freddie if no one else has any other truth to call out.
Yeah, just want to say that the pictures are just beautiful. I mean, in this chapter and in general, in the truth.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's great. So let's put our truths away, and we'll move into a comfortable seat, and I'll hand the mic to Pastor Freddie.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, everyone, let's just come to a comfortable seated position. Place your hands in your lap, and let's slowly let our eyes close. Take a deep breath in and release all tension. Take another deep cleansing inhale. And feel your body let go a little bit more. And continue taking deep breaths into your belly. Let it expand. And exhale fully as you bring your awareness to your third eye. And from here, we'll just absorb the beauty of the silence for a few moments while we focus on our breath. As we enter the collective consciousness, where we may find everything we need, the intelligence we seek, the love that we are a part of, the energy that radiates throughout the entire universe and beyond. And while we're here in this space of collective consciousness, open up your little satchel that you have with you and gather what you need. From here, you will find the strength that builds mountains, the softness of the wind, the warmth of love, the feelings of togetherness, and as you're gathering these things to put into your satchel, reach into your pocket and pull out the seeds that you wish to spread. The seeds of creativity, the seeds of joyfulness, the seeds of feeling rooted and belonging. And as we continue to focus on our breath, and being in this warm, bright space. Take a final moment to look around. And now we'll begin our journey back. Coming back into your breath, deep inhale. And exhale. Start to feel your body getting warm here from all the treasures that you have collected. All the ideas that will spring forth from what you have gathered from the collective consciousness. The peacefulness that your soul feels. And the pure positive potential that you are. Deep inhale. And slowly open your eyes as we meet each other here once again. And I place my hands over my heart and I thank you all for joining me here today. Namaste, friends.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Why don't everybody give a nice smile? I'm gonna do a little screenshot. So give a wave, give a smile for one, two. Cheese. Awesome. Again, yeah, thank you everybody again for being here. Looking forward to seeing you all next month, if not sooner. And if anyone doesn't have or needs it, access to the Discord, the Calendly link, just reach out, let me know. I'll make sure I get it out to everybody. Looking forward to talking to you again soon.
Next month in Terasem.
I am you am I, we are one.
We are one.